So in this video, I wanted to get my finger on the pulse of what people in the trading card space think of some of the most notable collectors on YouTube right now. So real quick, I'm a new creator. I want to help build something positive and something that more people want. So the mindset is, rather than vehemently destroy what you don't like, we should passionately build up what we do like. The visuals of the video, I want to show off some of my personal collection. So I have 5 top cards of the month. So this is kind of like a fun little experiment that I'm trying here. But basically, I felt the need to create 5 keywords for each collector or each creator that I'm going to be featuring in this video. With these 5 keywords, I then also told Mr. ChatGPT to create sort of like a pitch or a battle cry. I'm not even really sure what I would call it, but you'll see at the end of this video, after I've gone through the keywords for each collector, what the oorah type of moment is. So Card Collector 2, he is definitely the first collector. I gotta just say, the elephant in the room, man, for me, just aside from the consistent quality, high quality content that he regularly has made for quite some time now. And also the fact that he's like a card shop creator and he has documented that process. Like, there's a lot of not only entertainment value, but a lot of practical, educational, and knowledgeable insight to gain from watching Card Collector 2. But the elephant in the room for me is what happened to Card Collector 1. So I've watched quite a few videos, but truthfully, I'm not aware of if there's anything in the backstory where he has addressed, what happened to the first channel, Card Collector 1. Was it just kind of like a classic matter of one was taken, or if there's a specific attachment to the number 2? I know, isn't Derek Cheater number 2? I don't know if T matters, but yeah, man, no, there's honestly there's so much knowledge that Ryan has about sports and collectibles in general, and also too, I imagine that the networking piece and the connections that he has built through building his company, and I mean, yeah, also going to a ton of trade shows. Like, it's actually wild to see his shorts feed, just how consistently he is interacting with other collectors, and of all kinds of ages and demographics too. Like, he is definitely a good blend of kid friendly, but also as an adult in the space, there's a lot for you to kind of latch onto and appreciate as far as his content. So the 5 words that I thought of for Ryan: professional, well-spoken, passionate, assertive, and leadership. And I think those all, in their own unique ways, really, kind of describe him and just the overall vibe with Card Collector 2. Next up on the list here is Roth cards. I'm actually going to just start with the 5 words and then kind of go from there. Transparent, flashy, well-traveled, opportunistic, and trendy. Trendy also could have been hip, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe hip would have been a better word. But I'll kind of get into that. Going back to transparent and flashy. So I think there's a part of the trading card and collectible space that is very much in tune with the spectacle aspect of sports, of athletes, of pop culture. Being flashy, that word, I think carries a negative stigma. But I want to just really emphasize that I love flashy. I grew up big into obviously Pokemon. I say obviously because we've already talked about Pokemon on this channel, but also too the WWE at the time, WWF. I mean, yeah, just dramas. I'm a product of the late 90s, early 2000s era of media and entertainment. I think stuff was so over the top and cheesy and dramatic, but also it was wholesome and fun and exciting. So I think being flashy and being very hip and up to date with what the current meta is, so to speak, of what certain basketball card collectors or football card collectors or even more budding markets, I feel like soccer. I think Josh does a great job at having his own finger on the pulse of kind of what the cool trends are, the cool patterns, the cool what a lot of people are kind of gravitating towards, specifically with higher end cards. It's kind of wild the types of cards that he's handling on the regular. So I also see the benefit of kind of packaging the content and really focusing more of your own personality and the vibe of the content itself to be more about spectacle and more about star power, because this is entertainment. I think also too, transparent came to mind because in tandem with well-traveled and opportunistic, I know that he's obviously like a very big investor, and he sells, flips, trade, like all of it, right? Like breaks, like different box breaks, all kinds of ways that he interacts with the market and with the people that may follow his channel, but also people that maybe don't follow his channel. He is still also a business. So yeah, he's had interactions with like Geoff Wilson, who's actually the next guy on the list, through his own content, where it's just like very transparent, back and forth negotiations and deals. And it's very refreshing, and it's very insightful to see some of like the more notable and bigger creators interact and collaborate in this way. With that in mind, I actually think we can get into Geoff Wilson. So SCI, Sports Card Investor, Market Movers, now it's like Cards HQ, there's the Geoff Wilson Show, like there's everything. Geoff Wilson, I think motivated being kind of like one of the words would be like honestly an understatement. And I'm not even saying that as like what my subjective opinion on Geoff Wilson and Market Movers and like the work that he does objectively. That's like, take that aside, I still commend him for the fact that he has this many different passions and hobbies and interests, and that much motivation to, you know, continue all of these things. It's not even just about the value that Geoff Wilson himself may bring to the Sports Card Investor channel and to the app itself, but like the pure amount of people that he is coming into contact with his own team, with the card shop that he's building, with the collaborations, and the amount of times I see like collaborations and like live streams with so many other creators and so many other people. And I know on one hand you can look at it as there's probably a good element of you know, paid promotion, or like there's a lot of like companies and brands that are featured. But my point to that would be, what's wrong with that? I mean, if that is certainly a part of the experience for everyone in collectibles, even if you're just into like, you know, collecting your own personal cards, or if you are trying to be an entrepreneur and investor, I think having someone drive a platform like Sports Card Investor, or at least like on paper what they are building, what they built so far, I think it's great what they're building there. So Geoff, motivated, team player, perceptive, goal-oriented, and statistics. I think those are all pretty appropriate words. I gotta open my window because it looks beautiful out. Wow. Okay, the first and one of the video. So I need one compliment and one suggestion. One compliment is honestly the output, like the amount of content and the fact that you were usually the one driving like the conversation. And the one suggestion, I would lose the hello. Hello! Okay, so Mojo Sports. I would say I have 5 words in mind, but I want to add a 6th. And yeah, so it's trustworthy, positivity, encouragement, mentor, cultured. Yeah, I think Mojo makes some great content. I saw that Mojo Sports has a card, 2 cards, I think, of Tony Soprano, the actor that played him from The Sopranos, James Gandolfini, R.I.P., one of the best shows that I've ever seen. This guy has 2 sick cards signed by James Gandolfini. So I'm tremendously jealous of that as someone who, honestly, I first watched The Sopranos within the last year, and I've gone back on YouTube, and I swear, like, for one of my accounts, that's literally my entire feed is just random clips. So yeah, Mojo is just someone that I would honestly love to like run into him at a card show and just talk about different specific shows, movies, teams, players. As someone who's been in the space since I think like 2008 or 9, for such a long time, like what have been specific sets or specific players, specific characters, types of collectibles even that he's tended to want to keep rather than flip, knowing what I assume that he must know about you know, selling and the business side of collectibles. So our next creator, so Trike, Troy Reich himself. So I say that to say Trike was actually one of the first creators that I, as someone, you know, relatively new to the space as a viewer in the last couple of years, I really kind of gravitated towards. His channel is awesome. He's a great mix of vlog, journey, like experiential type content, but also just kind of natural, like taking your own sort of unique spin and self-reflection on what cards you might invest in or what lots of cards you might have picked up recently. He creates like his own, you know, experiments and has a very keen eye to yeah, I mean, like how to not only make every encounter and every experience from like a business side make sense financially, but how to turn that into like a learning lesson, a teaching experience for his future self and also other people who might be interested in getting into the space. So, and I can say that as someone who, like, I've actually bought cards off of Troy before, and I've had interactions with him, and I have like an appreciation for, I mean, yeah, he is also like an athlete, like a D1 basketball player who, you know, one of his interests has been in, collectibles, and not only like basketball cards and, more traditional like American sports, but soccer, and getting into that world, like having some exposure into that subsect of collectibles overall has also been cool. So I would say the 5 words that come up for me with Trike, Trike Sports Cards 415: honest, entrepreneurial, experimental, competitive, and focused. Okay, so kind of similar to how Trike was one of the first channels that I really found out about when I got back into sports cards and collecting. Packman is also one of the GOATs, one of the OGs in the space. So the 5 words that come to mind when I think of Packman: vicarious, curious, meticulous, economical, and consistent. This kind of makes me think, I really did my best to make sure no words were used twice, but I wonder if any of these kind of naturally spell out, like if you take the first letter of each word for each creator, if it spells out anything crazy. Heek, that's Trikes. Yeah, no, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, dude, something as simple as taking your camera, setting it up at your desk, and filming the process, like the natural enjoyment of opening a fresh pack or a box of cards and seeing what's inside. Like, that is, I feel like, the meat and potatoes of this space, and it's so cool. I really have always enjoyed the interest and the passion that Packman has, but also too, to the same point, over time, I mean, Packman is, I don't even know how he does it. Like, the amount of money that he manages to spend on cards, and just like the sheer amount of value that you're seeing filtered in and out of his content, it's amazing. So it's totally, I think he might get some flack from people about not having excitement for certain cards, even if they might be like the hits. But it's like, dude, if you were looking at the cards that Packman's looking at, how could you blame him for maybe not getting overly dramatic excited about pulling a Johnny Davis on card auto or some arbitrary piece of garbage, really? But yeah, Johnny Davis, don't kill me. It's also cool to see Packman, show up at different trade shows and basically be treated like the celebrity that he is. So it's cool to see that he's gotten some exposure with Cade Cunningham. Like, that's amazing. And I'm just curious to see like where his consistency is going to take him moving forward, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities that jump up, and he already has such a strong foothold within the space. So yeah, love to see it. I love when Packman has some fun ripping cards. Sports card dad. So relatable, pragmatic, intelligent, incisive, resourceful. Man, I have a good vocabulary. I'm not even gonna lie. Did not rely on ChatGPT. That's for the next part. I think overall, because sports card dad is, I mean, clearly he has been in the space, and that's not an age thing. Please don't kill me. Because he's like been into collectibles, and like he's a dad. Like, he captures that element of what the experience can be. Like, a lot of people might dress up certain ideas or certain philosophies, certain things that you should or shouldn't do when it comes to buying and selling and trading cards. But he has a way of wording things in a very relatable, in a very succinct, practical way. Like, he's real, I guess, is probably the simplest way that I could put it. And I think the direction that he takes his content, the ideas, the titles, thumbnails, and like the talking points, they're actually pretty insightful. He had a video recently that was basically like, it was related to the idea of if millennials are choosing to buy cards over having families. I was like, wow, like what a unique and fascinating idea for a video topic that I personally would have never come to, but I found it to be that much more compelling as a result. And then also, finally, Cases Loaded with Dan Wilson. The smallest channel on the list, but that does not really mean much, because honestly, he actually just recently hit 1,000 subscribers after being on the platform for a long time. And it's been very cool to see his journey so far in the couple of weeks that actually I've been subscribed to Dan's channel. And I'm looking forward to his videos and his content going forward, because there seems to be a lot of excitement on his part, kind of entering this new year, from like a content side, but also just like as a business owner, as someone who's been in the trading card and collectible space for decades. It's cool to see someone that has a lot of experience and connections and just value to be able to provide for people all across the spectrum. Nostalgia, friendly, history, fanatic, persistent. That's what I see Dan's keywords as. So with this in mind, I threw all of these keywords into ChatGPT, had them spit out like a pep rally speech. Here is that. In the vibrant world of sports card YouTube channels, each creator brings a unique flair to the table. Card Collector 2 stands out as a professional and well-spoken leader, injecting passion and assertiveness into his content. Roth Cards, with a transparent and flashy approach, embodies a well-traveled and opportunistic spirit, always staying on trend. Geoff Wilson and SCI operate as a motivated team, displaying perceptive goal orientation and a keen eye for statistics. Mojo Sports, known for trustworthiness and positivity, serves as an encouraging mentor with a cultured perspective. This is really bad, but I'm so committed to this, so we're going to just continue. Trike Sports Cards, led by an honest and entrepreneurial spirit, explores experimental and competitive avenues while remaining focused. Packman, a vicarious, and this is literally just like, I don't know what exactly they're adding to what I've already said. Packman, a vicarious and curious creator, maintains meticulous and economical content consistently. Sports Card Dad, with relatable and pragmatic insights, showcases intelligence and incisiveness, coupled with resourcefulness. That was just unnecessary. Lastly, Cases Loaded with Dan Wilson weaves nostalgia into friendly and historically rich content, maintaining a fanatic and persistent approach. Together, these creators embody a diversity tapestry of qualities. Wow, that was really beautiful. Each contributing to the vibrant and engaging sports card community. In the spirit of positivity, let's celebrate their individual strengths and the unique ways they contribute to this exciting community. I'm not even gonna lie, that last part really had me. If you like this video and you want to stay notified for more, make sure you press subscribe and also click on a link to watch another one.